This is WINTEMP Tankless Electric Water Heater 27 kilowatt water heater. This is not a joke, obviously. And I personally use WINTEMP around my house. And of course, this is no exception, except for definitely being one of the best water heaters that I've ever owned. And yes, I have the 32, I have the other ones, I have quite a few of them because I actually like them and they do the job. And this one, let me just unpack it real quick and then I'll get back to you with what's in the box. And as always in the box, user's manual, a few accessories that are necessary for installation, including a pre-filter. You have the wall mount layout that you would have here. Just stick this to the wall and you have places where the screws go. As always, they're really nice in providing this stuff. And of course, the other paper has the app installation. I'm gonna block these QR codes because, you know, we're online. And yes, you can control even this big guy here with an app, just like all their WINTEMP lineups can be connected to the app on your phone. And besides that, you have a very nice instructions manual that tells you what to do and how to do things properly. Since this one is the 27 kilowatt, it requires 3 times 40 amp breakers, and we're talking about dual pole, not the single pole. 3 times dual pole 40 amp breakers, which are 220 volts each, and size for the wire, you need 3 by 8 gauge wire. Water flow minimum to activate or to kick in so it pours hot water is 0.79 gallons per minute. And dimensions are right here, millimeters, and the water connectors are 3/4. Besides that, the rest, I'm going to install it, and you'll see it yourself, how this works and how it looks and all that. It's like always, I've never had any bad WINTEMP, and trust me, I've installed a lot of them that most of them have been graciously sent by WINTEMP themselves, and I'm absolutely confident to suggest their products to you because I know they work. And how do I know that? That's what I have in my own house, so yeah, I know they work. Well, first things first, here on the bottom is where you have the electrical connections that go in. Here you have the caps to the water inlet and outlet. I'm not gonna open them yet, but well, actually let me open one just really quick, just so you can see something that I'm always glad to see on WINTEMP products. Yep, a wet seal right there. It's an indicator that an actual human being tested this before it was sent to me or to whoever buys one of them. And to take the cover off, you just need a Phillips screwdriver and take this screw out of here. Because of course we're gonna have to install it, and the only way to install it is going to be by taking the cover out. Let me put this on the side here, and to take the cover out, just lift here on the corner. Let me put it down again, because that's how this comes out, and just like that, you take the cover out, boom. Let me disconnect this really quick so I don't break it. It's a flex cable that goes through to connect the wireless module that's right here, and the control panel right here. That's all it is on that side. And here we have the heaters that are inside. These are the circuits, to the protectors for overheat protection, all that good stuff. Nice MOSFETs on a piece of aluminum there on the body. I like seeing that. And here are the terminals that we're gonna work with. So what happens here is that we take the 3 breakers, right, connected 40 amp, 40 amp, and 40 amp, and we bring both wires, as we know, in 240 amp dual pole breakers, 240 volt dual pole breakers. We always have 2 wires coming out of them, which is line 1 and line 2, because they're both active. Here we have 120, 110 volts and 110 volts, or 120 depending on the area you live. Basically, it's kind of the same thing. And you have the lines here, should be 6 terminals plus ground. Yep. So line 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. and ground is always the yellow wire that you might see under right there. And pretty much is just like the other WinTemp installations, very straightforward and very quick to install. There's not many ifs and buts about it. It's just a WinTemp tankless water heater to install, and we're gonna do just that. I have a spot already. I have the wires going on. I'm just gonna remove really quick the other WinTemp that I have installed on the wall, and I'm gonna put this one so you can see how it actually installs and looks and all that good stuff, because at the end, that's what we're here for. So let's go do that there. And before I do that, I highly suggest you hire an electrician, because electricity doesn't forgive. Just to make sure that you're on the right side, hire an electrician. It doesn't cost you $1 million. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. If you don't know a lot about electricity, you don't want to play with it. So with that said, let's go install it. Okay, so at this point, all we have left to do is to actually just install the wires. I connected the plumbing already under here for these installations. They're really good. They're ball valves. They're nothing special, but they're special enough because they are rich. They live almost forever, so that's all I care. And of course, it's turned off right now, just to make sure. Yes, I have a pressure release, but that is optional. And we're gonna connect these three breakers right here. I'm just gonna start installing this. That's straightforward. There's nothing really to be intimidated from. It just looks intimidating if you've never done it before. And I suggest, as I said before, get an electrician, because that is not a joke when you're talking about electricity. So I'm gonna install this. You'll see a sped up version. Meanwhile, go here like a turtle, slowly one by one to install them. Okay, so the wires now are all connected. One thing, you have to have one of these smaller flatheads. Not sure if I can focus the camera on here. This one is too big because it has that spade. One of these that are just straight up. Let me see. Yep, right there. You need this one right here, not the one with a spade, because it's not gonna fit and you're gonna destroy the plastic here on the terminals. So just a small thing to keep in mind. Some of these will do you really good. Yep, this one right here that are just straight without the spades on the side. And we are done. It's installed at this point. It is connected on the inlet, connected to the outlet. Water is closed up. Wires are connected properly. Ground, line 1, line 2, and line 3. Everything looks good so far. Plug it back in, and we are ready to turn on the breakers, because of course at this point the breakers are still out. Do not dare turn the breakers on, even though you think you're finished. You know that until everything is to this point that's completely closed and everything is done, then you put the breakers back on position, or however you want to call it. And my camera here is going out, so I'm gonna grab a camera really quick and show you when I turn on the breakers just what the screen says. I mean, at this point you get the point. There's nothing else that I can talk about, but I'll show you that screen, just a courtesy of my time. Again, thank you to WinTemp. I seriously respect these guys for what they do, because they do high quality work. This is not a joke. And I just turned the breakers on, and the unit, of course, it's off. And I'm gonna click this really quick. Yep. And you can just go up and down, and these are just I'm just showing you that I actually installed it successfully. But besides that, they're pretty much all the same. You can download the app and control all this stuff from an app, from the centigrade to Fahrenheit to all that good stuff. You can check what's going on with it. It is really, really a beautiful unit. In my opinion, worth it every single penny. And with that said, there's not much else that I can tell you about. And yes, this goes to sleep like that by itself on standby. If you tap anything, it'll come back on. Or when you turn the water on, the hot water, it will turn on by itself and you'll see the numbers moving. Besides that, there is nothing else I can say except for a big, big thank you to WinTemp for being really awesome and making awesome products.